have some studying and a final to do this weekend, and then I have spring break. I'm just worn out. That was a long day. That 10.5 hour clinical shift was longer than any other clinical of my life, even though the others were mostly 12 hours or more. I'm so glad to be done with cardiovascular. Glad to work with a different preceptor. Some people are just negative. She was one of the more negative people. I don't think I ever heard her compliment another nurse, ever. I heard the opposite. I'm just worn out. It's the end. I'm so glad I'm done. I'm trying to figure out, how do I celebrate? Do I celebrate with Freddy's, brownie? I don't know what it is. It's not a brownie batter blizzard. That's a Dairy Queen thing. But I'm emptying my pockets of stuff. Whoops. The stuff you leave clinicals with. Saline slush, alcohol press wipes. 2 more. Whoops. Oh, you guys. That was a long day. It's one of my shorter clinicals, but just, I was so done with that unit, and knowing that this was the last time I was gonna have to be in there. And then, like I said, she just wasn't in the best mood today. She was grumpy, my preceptor, complaining about people. And I know I'm doing the same thing right now, but it just makes for a long day when someone's complaining. Patient load was easy. One really interesting patient, really interesting. She had a fistula, which is like for getting dialysis in, and I hadn't got to feel the thrill. Literally, it's called that, the thrill on a fistula, or listen to a brewery over a fistula. So I got to do that, and she was just talkative. She was the kind of person that liked being able to teach students, and so she shared with me an experience in dialysis of when the patient next to her, who she had gotten to know because they sat in dialysis together, had passed away, like right in front of her, and just how she had dealt with that. And I said, I was happy to educate a nurse in what it was like to be dealing with dialysis. And so I enjoyed visiting with her. Got to see someone put on the life vest before they left. That's like a AED device that you just wear all the time if you're at super high risk for having a heart attack. Gave some meds. It was a rather boring day, honestly, but easy. Really easy to get my paperwork done. There was plenty of time to get all my paperwork done really quickly. So yeah, all my paperwork got done like super early before I was done. I think I was just like, again, ready to get out of there, very much so. I am out of here. Just a little bit excited there. If you're through nursing school, I would love to know what your least favorite clinical was and your most favorite. My most favorite was drug and alcohol rehab, by far. That was great fun. I'm looking forward to room clinic too. And I liked PICU. I was impressed with our little community hospital when I did my med surg thing. I think it would be really interesting to do a rotation at my community hospital now, after I've, like, with all that I've learned from when I first started. I think I'd like it even more, but I'm not going back there, and that is okay. But I'm done. I am done. I have a test to do Saturday or Sunday. I have to do a final for my complex care class, and I definitely need to study more for that final. Listen to some YouTube videos on burns and HIT syndrome and DIC and a whole bunch of things I need to listen to, and I need to re-listen to a recorded class because I wasn't able to listen very well during that class. We're trying to drive to a doctor's appointment at the same time. So I have some studying and a final to do this weekend, and then I have spring break. And then honestly, like, spring break is really a true break. There's nothing I have to work on during spring break. They might open up the community health class so we can work ahead on that. So, I mean, I can do that, but I don't have to. It's going to be a real spring break, like a break. And then I just have 6 weeks left. And part of it's ethics class, which can be workload heavy, but it's interesting work at least. And she's a way easy grader, our ethics teacher. If you're listening this, I'm getting more and more Elmhurst students or prospective students listening to me. If I say a class is an easy class, I really think it depends on the instructor. I mean, A&P is harder than other classes, I think, unless you just really love your meds. But I mean, how easy or hard classes are, I feel like totally depends on the instructor, because some do a better job than others preparing you for exams, and some of them grade papers easier than others. But my ethics class is super easy. It's work, but it's interesting work. And then, like I said, she's just a super generous grader, in my opinion. So I enjoy ethics, and I have ethics. When I come back from spring break, the rest of ethics, some students at Elmhurst were like,
why aren't we spending more time on complex care and less time on ethics?
Can't make everyone happy. I love ethics. And then I have community health. I don't know. I haven't been able to see the syllabus for community health, so I don't know what that's going to look like. I feel like I have an advantage over my peers probably in community health because Raylan has had home health nursing. We have, as a family, been involved with WIC, which is community health, when our kids were little, and I've had grandparents in the nursing home, which I feel like maybe is a little bit community health. Yeah, and then Raylan has, private duty nursing as a kind of community health. So I feel like I'm at an advantage with community health. School nurses would be community health, and definitely have worked in the school system, and I know like nurses roles with IEPs, so I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but I'm not expecting community health to be extremely challenging. So I feel like once I finish this last exam, like I'm over the hump of the hardest part of this term, and there's just like 6 weeks left of classes, and then it's so great to say I'm gonna be done. Then it's an NCLEX studying time, but I'm a good test taker. I'm not too super worried about the NCLEX. I need to study, but yeah, that doesn't give me a lot of anxiety. I will feel differently come NCLEX time, I'm sure, but I just feel great right now. I'm done with my least favorite clinical. I think wound clinic will be interesting. I think I will enjoy it. I'm still not 100% sure that I'm not going to try to get them to give me a second community health clinical site, because wound clinic is interesting, but I would love, if we know what nursing agency we're going to end up going with, I would absolutely love to do some of my clinicals with whatever nursing agency we're going to go with once I get hired on as Raylan's nurse, so I can start learning their paperwork. And we haven't figured that out yet. Advantage is the nursing agency we use right now. Our nurse doesn't love Advantage. That's who she's with, but she's open to switching. She doesn't really love Advantage. So I don't know who we're going to be with. There's an agency that I really have heard great things about, but they're not in our area, and they would like to come to our area, but not until there's more interest in more cases. They can't afford to come with just one case. So I don't know when that's going to happen. But I can't do clinicals with them because they're up in Chicago, and that's not going to happen. But yeah, I would love to do some of my home health clinicals with a home health agency that does, what my job is going to be if possible. But yeah, wound clinic is where I'm right now scheduled to do. And if I did all my home health clinicals in wound clinic, I think that would be a great learning experience. That is not necessarily a bad thing at all. That's what I know. I am celebrating with Freddy's chocolate brownie something, concrete something. I don't know what it is. When I see it on the menu, I'll know. Oh, guys, it feels so good to be out of there. It feels so good to be out of there. So good. It was such a long day. So thankful. Chocolate brownie delight. And I like to ask them to add espresso syrup, but let's see. I teach at 3 something in the morning. No, I don't. 4:50 in the morning. 4:20 in the morning. I teach at 4:20 in the morning tomorrow. I'm pretty caffeine sensitive, but I doubt there's much caffeine in espresso syrup and ice cream. I don't know. I might get chocolate brownie delight with espresso syrup added. If you don't have Freddy's by you, it's like Steak and Shake, but better. I love Freddy's. Alright guys, that's what I know. I'm just rambling. I'm just in a great, fabulous mood because the last 10.5 hours are over. It feels fabulous. I'm gonna have such a great evening. This, guys, chocolate brownie delight with a cherry on top. Great way to celebrate. Such a good way to celebrate. Alright guys.